there.
Hello.
Hi, we're waiting for Tori. She just got off a flight, so I think she's going to be joining the meeting on her phone.
Okay.
So, we'll just give her a few minutes. I mean, okay. And then you'd like, Tori said that you would like to be able to so you could.
Yes, please.
Oh, hold on just 1 second. Sorry. There. Sorry, there's a little bit of feedback there. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, let me turn my volume
Yeah, no,
down.
it was my end because we are streaming live to YouTube. So if I don't close that window, we get feedback.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay, yeah, that was Tori just calling me right now. She said she's just getting off the plane. So I do have a PowerPoint presentation to show, so if I'm able to share my screen, and then I have another person who's going to support facilitating the presentation
Okay, I gave you co-host
with me. They don't need screen sharing capability. Okay. My video. Okay, there we go.
Hi, Paula.
Hi. Wow. So you're in the
South Seas house.
okay, so thank you. I couldn't think of the name of it.
Yeah. Tori's on her way. She's running a little late.
Okay.
She's gonna probably join us on the phone.
Okay.
But then she'll be here.
Okay. Great. So I can be here till 7:30 and then I jump onto another meeting.
Okay. Hi, Octavio.
Hello, how y'all doing?
Hey,
Good.
Octavio, thank you.
Good to see everyone. How y'all doing?
Good, good.
Good, good. I'm gonna turn my camera off real quick. just for a second, but I'm right here. I'm waiting. Whenever y'all want to get started, I'm here and active.
Okay. Hi, Roger. We're gonna give it a couple more minutes for people to join in before we get started.
No worries, no worries. Just a heads up, I have a hard 7 o'clock, so I got another meeting that I got to go to. But yeah, I got time to wait.
Okay. Hi there, Donna. We're gonna give Tori a second to call in. She just-
Okay, good. Thank you. Hi, Paula, how are you?
Hello, I don't know who the host is, but every time I try to turn my camera back on, it says I cannot start your video because the host has, I don't want to start my video, I just want to turn my camera back on.
Okay, let's see.
There it goes. There it goes.
There you are. So you just had to say it.
Yeah,
Hi,
I was
Donna.
Hi.
This
Hello, everybody.
this is actually an official meeting of the Neighborhood Council, and Tori is our chair, so I could get started, but I'm going to give her a moment to call in at least, and then we'll share the agenda, and then we'll get started with the presentation. So I'm just going to give her another minute or so. She's flying in and making her way to our facility.
Oh, flying in. She was out of town?
Yes, I think in Sacramento.
Oh.
Thank you, Teresa, for taking over. I know it is a little difficult to carry on for other people, but we can all support you.
Thanks, Donna.
Oh, thank you.
All right, well, here she is. Hey, Tori, I see you made it.
Oh, good evening. How is everyone?
Good. Hi, Tori.
Needless to say, I'm just getting off a plane. I'm en route.
All right.
And I usually try to make it the last Thursday of the month, but this time we weren't able to change because of new rules.
Oh.
So I'm sharing your agenda right now.
Okay.
We're going to do a call to order, general public comments. We have a special guest speaker. And then Tori's going to give us an update, round robin, old business, and then possible agenda items for next meeting.
Right.
So,
Thank you. We can do the 2-minute public announcement. Then I'm gonna go over what the mayor's new plan is.
okay, just a reminder that Roger has to leave at 7 o'clock and Paula has to leave at 7:30. So are there any public comments right now?
Did you say Roger has to leave at 7? Oh, okay, all right. Forgot it's 6:30.
So I just have one public comment is that the UNNC Earth Day celebration is this Saturday from 10 to 2. And it is on 12th between Washington and that little block, 12th Street, 12th Avenue, sorry, near the Washington Irving Library. We're also having our neighborhood council elections, so please come out, celebrate Earth Day. And if you live in the area, you can also vote for neighborhood council representatives. Okay, it's all you, Tori.
Okay, so I'll ask again, are there any public comments that are not on the agenda? Any topics, any updates? Okay, being that there's none. That's a rarity. Okay, so what we'll do is, since I'm walking and talking, we'll go ahead and let Nakia be up first. And then if you could do me the pleasure, Teresa, introduce her, just her topic, her name and her title.
Sure. We'd like to welcome Nakia Brazier. She's a community relations coordinator with LASA, and she'll be doing a presentation on LA HOP and instructions to the public and how we, I guess, go about contacting them. And then we're going to follow with a Q&A session. Did I get that right, Nakia?
Sounds good.
Yes, thank you. Donna, correct?
Thank you,
Teresa.
Nakia.
Teresa, okay, sorry. Thank you, Teresa. So yes, my name is Nakia Brazier. I'm the Community Relations Coordinator for LASA, particularly in SPA 6. So we have a Community Relations Coordinator for all of the service planning areas. And so I'm the Community Relations Coordinator for SPA 6. I'm also joined here today by Octavio, who is an Outreach Coordinator with HOPIX. And so once we get into the presentation, you'll get a bit more explanation, understanding as to why Octavio is here, supporting in the co-facilitation of this presentation. I will go ahead and share my screen, so give me a moment just to. And Octavio, while I go ahead and pull up the presentation, if you want to make an introduction for yourself. You're more than
Hello, how
welcome.
you doing, everyone? My name is Octavio Johnson. I'm the outreach coordinator. I'm on mute. I'm the outreach coordinator here at HOPIX, Homeless Outreach Program Integrated Care System. We cover all of SPA 6. That covers Paramount, Linwood, Compton, Los Angeles, and the greater Los Angeles area, all the way to Venice and the borderline areas of Hollywood, Leimert Park, the Jungles. We cover all those areas in Los Angeles. So I'm here to present on LA Hop and answer all the questions. Currently, the outreach coordinator in SPA 6 does all the assigning for LA Hop, and I do all the teams and stuff. But when I go into the one-on-one presentation with the PowerPoint, it all makes sense to everyone. Go ahead, Nikki.
Okay, thank you. So this is a presentation of LA Hop in coordination with LASA and HOPIX. And so the reason, I give it a little bit of context for the reason for this presentation this evening is at last month's meeting, there was a constituent community member who was interested in making a referral, wanted to report that she had observed someone who was consistently sleeping at a local park, and she wanted to address the situation. She felt that it was unsafe, particularly for there being children who frequented the area, and wanted to do something to find a different space for the person to sleep and particularly to get some support. And so there was a presentation about care system in which is available to make referrals. And I also mentioned that there was LA Hops that could be used to make referrals for community members who know of or who have observed people who are experiencing homelessness in near their businesses, schools, parks, or homes. And so I wanted to provide a more in-depth information session about how to access LA Hop, how to make referrals, and really what LA Hop system is. So I invited Octavio, who is with HOPIX, to support with the presentation, given that HOPIX is the lead coordinator for the LA Hops. And so if we can back up and imagine that the person who wanted to make the referral last month wanted to make the referral prior to LA Hops or to there being a coordinated outreach system. So what would that look like for that person? So we would have a concerned citizen who wanted to make requests. So they may make that request via email. They could have made it by phone call. They could have made it by word of mouth, right? There was various ways in which someone may have made that referral or asked for help. And in that system, if you're able to see the screen, that person may have reached out to law enforcement, maybe to a city or county department, maybe to an elected official, or even to an outreach service provider or outreach team. And they may have had to reach out to multiple people, right? And so there may have been a couple things that may have happened with this type of outreach or referral, kind of word of mouth, or going to several different places. One is that there's a high chance that this request or referral could fall through the cracks. So maybe it didn't, the referral went to someone, but no one did anything about it. There was no accountability and making sure that these service requests were fulfilled. And so we may have seen a lot of these requests falling through the cracks. There was no clear process for tracking their progress made. So maybe the referral went out, but there was no way of tracking and seeing and knowing that an agency actually picked up the referral and that the client or the person who was being referred to the system was actually being connected to services or supported in any type of way. And then often there may have been duplication in services, or again, in this request going out. And so there has been a system that was created to coordinate the outreach efforts and to provide a space for constituents to make their referrals to one centralized location. And so now that we have the LA Hop, if you are able to see the screen, you can see a little bit how that coordinated outreach model has changed and has been a little bit more streamlined. So now with LA Hops, there's one location to submit all of your requests. It's easier to dispatch to teams. So when we talk about there being one place to submit your request, you go to LA Hops, the countywide online portal, LA Hops, to make an outreach request or referral. So, and this is available to all stakeholders, whether you're a community member, if you are working in government or working at a council district office, if you're on a neighborhood council, if you're a council board member, this system is available to all stakeholders to access. And so you would make your referral through the online system. It's easier to be dispatched. So once that request is put into the online portal, it is funneled down to a CE, to an outreach coordinator, such as Octavio or his co-part Michael. If we just give input, or I guess a little bit more information, is that for SPA 6, we do have 2 outreach coordinators. And so Octavio is just one of those outreach coordinators. But those requests will be funneled out from the outreach coordinators to the different outreach teams. And so this system has built a component that allows for us to follow up on the request and to make sure that no request falls through the cracks. And it's a clear process for tracking the outcomes and then for tracking the outcomes. And so when a request goes in, we have outreach teams who actually go out to respond to the request, to support the person being referred to and support them to connecting to services and working with other outreach teams to get the individual connected to the services that they need. And so now that I've kind of given you a bit more context and historical reference as to why LA Hops was created and how it has addressed some of the issues with the referral systems and connecting folks to service, I will pass it over to Octavio to give us a little bit more information about how LA Hops works and how community members can access the system.
Hello, how you doing? Thank you very much. LA Hop is a very simple portal that it works in. It streamlines all the outreach efforts to one location. So as you can see right now, the screenshot shows the first page of the portal, which if you see a homeless person in the street or somebody sees a homeless person in a cabin or something, you can go onto the portal, which is at lahop.org, and you start off at the page and you put in a request. Community service providers, anyone can put in a request. And you can actually, the more detail you have and the more information you have, it's easy for us to find the client. You go to the next screen. It'd be great. LA Hop was launched in 2019. That was the beginning when we started streamlining everything into one portal. Like she said earlier, we have 2 outreach coordinators. Actually, we have one coordinator who runs LA Hop in SPA 6, and the other one is his backup. I'm actually the one who runs the SPA, but if I'm out of any case, Michael has the access to do everything. So what it is that every team that we have that works outreach in SPA 6, as far as our general team, our DMH team, our LASA, our Hopics team, and all the teams have leads that are inside LA Hop. We have a list of over 40, 50 teams. So when your request comes in, if you see a person at a park, it will come directly to the LA Hop portal, which will go directly to the outreach coordinator with an email. He will go on the portal and see the request, read through the request, see the map, see where it's located at, and see what team works the area and set up the best team for that type of client. So if a client has DMH, he will send out a medical team or a DMH team or MDT team with a medical provider on there, a mental health provider on there. I can't say mental health provider. We have nurses on some of our teams too. That's why I kept saying medical. That goes out when we have medical clients. You see a person on the street with wounds and stuff need to be cared. We have different type of teams that can come through. It's very easy to use. We have the call sheets. You just have the name of the client or John Doe. You fill in all the information. And the great thing about it is that we can track with LA Hop now the where, the when, the how, and how to keep track of clients. But back in the past, we had lots of work with some clients, Hop working with clients. Now all the data and everything we can pull is in one location, and it's a great tool for us to use. Our average time at SPA 6 is actually For a person who has a request, we respond back in at least 1 day for the coordinator to see and assign it to a team. And all teams are working on a 72-hour period to close a request. So a team will go out once or twice or multiple times to see if they reach the person. If they can't reach them, then they will send a request. You'll get a response back from the system, LA the portal, when the outreach coordinator closes a request and tells what happened with the results. And you have also access to that outreach coordinator to call that coordinator and follow up on any requests that you put in. Would you like to go to the video? And then if anybody have any questions, we'll go from there.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and show the video that gives a little bit more step-by-step of how to make a referral. You get to see what that referral interface looks like if you are joining us visually.
Is there supposed to be sound?
Yeah, we have no sound.
You all don't have sound on your side?
No, we don't.
No.
Oh, no.
I
Okay.
think wherever your controls are, there's a space in there, because I went through this weekend, where it says share. And you click on that and then we can hear the sound.
Okay, give me one moment. Let me troubleshoot this. Sorry, y'all.
It's all right. I did the same thing this weekend. I was just playing this video and everybody was like, we can't hear it. But I could.
I think, Nakia, also, maybe you have to stop the share and then click the button that will.
I didn't, but maybe, I don't
Yeah.
know. I didn't have to.
Okay.
Huh.
What did you do again, Paula?
I went to where the controls were. It was at the top of the screen. And there was an option that said share. And I clicked on that and then it released the sound.
Okay, I got it. Thank you. Yeah, it's on the more button and then it says share sound. So this
Okay.
should work. Okay,
Can you start it again?
thank you. Yeah, I'll go ahead and restart it. Let's see that hopefully this works.
We've all seen people experiencing homelessness all
Thank
across
you.
Los Angeles County and right in our own communities. We want to help, but sometimes we're not sure how. Now, there's a new online tool so you can join the movement to fight homelessness and help our homeless neighbors get the assistance they need. It's called LA HOP. That's la-hop.org. It stands for LA County Homeless Outreach Portal, and it's the first of its kind. Anybody with a mobile phone or computer can use it, and it works in multiple languages. Here's how it works. If you see someone on the street who needs help, go to la-hop.org, type in a location, or use the icon to show where the person is. Then describe the situation. The more detail, the better. After you submit the request, it's assigned to an outreach team that helps move people from homelessness to housing. This is when the hard work begins. Outreach workers often need to make multiple visits to build relationships and connect people to services and housing, and it can take a while to get people moved indoors. With so many people to serve, it may take a few days for an outreach team to be deployed. Priority goes to the most vulnerable. LA HOP does a lot, but it can't do everything. It's not for medical or mental health emergencies, and it's not for reporting crime, graffiti, or illegal dumping. But it does put the power of help at your fingertips, and that makes you part of the movement to combat homelessness across Los Angeles County. Thanks for being part of the solution. Learn more at la-hop.org.
Okay, thank you for that. for taking the time to listen or watch, whichever you have capacity to do. Octavio, can you walk us through just step by step what that referral process looks like once an outreach request is submitted?
Okay, yes, once the outreach, that video was great. That's actually my first time seeing that video. It explained everything I just talked about in like 2 minutes. That was great. Once you send the request, an individual send a request to the portal, that request is then sent to an email to the coordinators. The coordinator will open that email up and read over the request like it was in the video, and it was sent out. By that request, I will get the service district, council district on that request. I will get a map of where that location at. So everything you put on that request on your side, I will see everything visually. As the coordinator of Spot 6, I will take that request and assign it to one of our multiple teams that service Spot 6. Currently, right now, we have over 40 teams that service Spot 6 in LA Hot Portal. We have teams on the transit system. We have mental health teams. We have general outreach teams, which does general outreach. We have veteran-specific teams, and we have teams that are council district teams. And now we have multidisciplinary team, which is teams that serve very disciplinary parts of homelessness. But that team has a nurse, a substance abuse counselor, therapists, and outreach workers. So once I get the area and the location, I will figure out which team is best to fit that client that you described. So the more information and the more things you see that client is going through and suffering, or what you visually see about that person, it's easier for us to say the proper team out to service them. Once I have the request come from you, the individual, I have, plus see that set some rules together, I have 24 hours to assign a team. Once a team has been assigned that request, they have 72 hours to close out the request. No team can close out a request unless they made 3 attempts to see that client. So if they go to that location 3 times and didn't see it, then the request will be closed. They will send it back to the coordinator, and now you will get an email in your mail. You will get an email of all the results. Most of the time, we get a lot of requests, and the teams are already working with that client. You will get an email saying, team has already been served, outreach team is already serving that client, and we're currently working with that client. So any results that we have, we will send you a request, a response back of your request to let you know the status of that request.
Thank you so much. And so I wanted to just go over, a few important things about LA HOP. And so the first one is that a person experiencing homelessness is able to refer themselves through the system. So that is available. As I mentioned last month at the meeting, even though an outreach team may go out to a location or to do a checkup on someone to fulfill the referral or to fulfill the request, there's no requirement to receive services. So like outreach services are voluntary. So if a person chooses not to take the service, they may still be at the space that you made the report about. So it doesn't mean that someone didn't go out to fulfill the request. It was maybe just that that person declined services, right? If there's medical or criminal emergencies, you still contact 911 or law enforcement. And then that there are some requests that may not be serviced. And so while a person experiencing homelessness may refer themselves through LA HOP, not that it's recommended, definitely recommended to call 211 or reach out to an access point. There are requests that may not be serviced. So an outreach team will not respond to requests if it's been provided for in-reach. So maybe someone who is experiencing homelessness, but they're experiencing shelter homelessness, so they're already in a shelter, or maybe even maybe squatting in an abandoned building. Those types of referrals will not be serviced. And so again, like a LA HOP outreach team would not go into homes or to private businesses or onto private property to provide services. If you're wanting to make those types of referrals or to connect people or someone yourself, maybe to service, you would definitely still want to do that through 211 or Access Center. This type of referral is just if you see someone and you've seen someone frequenting a particular area and you want to maybe have someone go out to just do a wellness check, a checkup on them and to offer service to them. I guess it was called, it's more or less for the casual referral. If you have,
I can help you with that.
yeah,
LA Hop is really used for chronic homeless people on the street. That's basically what we're saying. If they're already in a shelter or they're already been placed in a system, we do not recommend you using LA Hop. There's another 211, and I think there's a mental health number now. I think it's 611 now. I think there's a 911. But LA Hop is for the chronically homeless that we see in the street, and then for the encampments. If somebody's living on somebody's couch or somebody's living with a friend, we do not consider that homeless. So the outreach coordinator will kick that back because it don't fit the HUD definition of homelessness. So LA Hop is for anybody who is living on the street or in a public place that fit the HUD definition of homelessness.
thank you so much for that. And it doesn't replace HMIS or the CES, right? So those
It works
systems,
in conjunction with them.
right? Thank you. So those systems are still there working in conjunction, but does not replace either of those, either the CS or the HMIS. So there's still data being communicated through HMIS, and then connection to both interim and permanent housing is going to be made through CES access points. A few other things, and I think it was mentioned in the video, and it's also a frequently asked question, and we'll go over this again. If you make a request or you submit a referral, you are able to receive information back letting you know that the request was serviced. So you can get updates on the requests that you made. LA Hops is required by law to protect the privacy, so we're unable to share details. So the person who has coordinated the outreach and who's reaching back to communicate to you will not be able to provide you specific details, just to let you know that that your request has been acted on. And again, still people, it's still recommended that you are reaching out to 211. So if you for some reason do not have internet, do not have access on your phone to make a referral through LA Hop through 211, you can call 211 and let them know that you want to make an LA Hop referral, and then the LA Hop referral will be submitted via 211. If you have additional questions or want to learn more, you can always go to the Learn More page at la-hop.org to get more information. And we do have some frequently asked questions that Octavio, if you can help us answer. And you may have already said this, but just to elucidate it on its own, when should a person fill out an outreach request through LA Hop?
Anytime they see a person experiencing homelessness on the street or in a public place or in an encampment, which they think that needs help or services.
Thank you. And what do outreach workers do specifically?
Outreach workers will specifically go to the location, offer services, and will build a relationship until they were able to see if they can offer shelter or to permanent housing. It's a constant relationship building to see if they can offer this client any service from immediate needs to permanent housing.
Right, and again, going back to the idea that service is voluntary, like Octavio said, it may be several points of contact and interacting and building relationship and rapport with the person before they become a client and accept service. So don't think that you make a request and you still see the person there 2-3 days a week, 5 weeks later, that it hasn't been acted on. It just means that we're just going through the process to build a relationship, help the person feel safe, trust it, and to get connected to the resources that are available. Octavio, how long does it take to help someone?
That question can vary. It can help someone in a week, or it can be all the way from the first day we meet them to a week or years. It matters how severe the case is, and every case is based individually. It's not really a set time. But outreach worker will constantly work and will have updates in HMIS or in any system we have to update the person who put in the request of the status of what's going on.
Thank you. And then how long does it take for a team to respond once a request is given to them?
It should be 72 hours before they make 2 attempts and 3 attempts to close it in a 72-hour period. Spot 6 has the best, I hope everybody here is Spot 6, but Spot 6 has the best closing time of all the spas in Los Angeles County.
Thank you. And we mentioned this already, but can you get an update? Can a person get an update on what happened with the request?
Yes, the portal will send an update after the coordinator closes it and have a response back from the team. Please check your junk mail because we had a lot of the requests go to the junk mail portion of your email, but there will be a request, and then you can put a note in if you put a request into a person for them to contact you, and the individual part where you put in the request. So it works two ways. You can get a response back.
Thank you so much. And so I have my contact information on this screen, Nakia Brazier, Nakia, last name Brazier, Brazier, and my email address is nbrazier@lahsa.org, and my phone number is 213-808-2621. And Octavio's email is ojohnson@hopics.org. And we are welcome and invite questions.
Octavio, could you read what the HUD definition of homelessness is for the audience?
I don't have it read, but I know what it is. The HUD definition is anyone who has been experiencing homelessness for over a year consecutively, or 3 or 4 times in a year. This person must be sleeping on a street, public place, a park, or in a car, any place that's inhabitable for human life. So I mean, they can be sleeping in a garage as long as the garage doesn't have a bathroom in it. But once a person is in a house or you're sleeping with your friend, you do not fit the definition of HUD.
Well, there's a multitude of definitions. I know one in particular I had read before was saying that if you didn't have a utility bill in your name, and I guess they probably augmented some of those definitions since then.
Not if you don't have a utility bill in your name. That is not a HUD definition. That is definitely not correct. If you're in someone's house and
No, I didn't say HUD. I said I have read someone's definition. Yeah.
For HUD, if you're in someone's house and you go from house to house and you consistently do it for 2 or 3 days, you are considered a house. They have to be homeless for a 48-day period on the street, literally.
48 day or 48 hours?
48 hours. I said day, 48 hours.
Right. Okay. Well, you guys, that was a wonderful presentation. I'm sure there's someone who has some questions. And I want to ask, who would be likely to use this system to report someone?
Well, I can give you the numbers in spot 6 because I get all the requests. On a weekly basis, I average about 34 to 36 requests a week.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I know Roger was on Friday. CD10 alone, the Lamar Park area, average about 10 or 12 requests a week. Compton average about 10 or 12 requests a week. CD8 is very big with requests. Anytime somebody see a homeless person, agencies use it. It is very frequently, a lot of people use it. A lot of people do self-requests. And it is very, I think spot 6, last fiscal year, which is going from June to June, had over 1,800 requests, and we closed about 1,700 of those requests. And we stick to our 4-day, I think we had a 4-day time with a 1-day response time. So it'll take 1 day for the coordinator to assign it to a team, and by then we have a 4-day response time. The data portion is very important for us on our end because we can track how many times this person been seen, how many people work with this person. We can track to see if if the request is what agency is working with them. So the data part, the numbers we can see a lot of research what's going on in our whole spot. So yeah, it's used quite frankly a lot. I'm pretty sure we average about 30 to 34 requests a week come into our portal.
Wow. So you said 1,800 per year is average?
That was our last year number. We did about 1,800 requests last year. That was from June 30th, 2022. Well, yeah. So yeah, so the June 30th at the end of this year. Yeah, I think so. I know for so far right now this year, I got to do numbers after this meeting. But I know last week I did numbers. There's like 1,079 requests from June from July 1st till present of last Thursday. We already had 1,790 requests in spot 6.
You're late for church.
Let me mute this person. Can you,
You want to
please
ride?
here? Nakia, can you please, yeah, because I couldn't see that if any hands were raised. I do have a couple questions. Donna, do you have questions first? Well, I'm gonna just jump into my questions. I was actually, I worked with Tori. We did have a person in our park. That we tried to get some services for. So let me just ask you these questions first, and then I'll talk to you about my experience. Regarding the homeless outreach portal, can you upload photos?
No.
Okay. And how is this organization connected to the mayor's circle plan?
The circle plan is in spot 4. The circle plan has not been introduced in spot 6 yet. So we're currently not actually using the mayor circle plan. The circle plan is for 24-hour response requests, and that's through Urban Alchemy. So that's usually downtown Hollywood area, but the circle program has not been covering all of LA County. It's only in a certain area right now. LA Hop has been established to every part of the city, and it's a 24-hour. It's a portal that is used for all the outreach workers to get requests. So those are 2 different resources.
So it's 2 different entities that are both handling homeless. So will they be connected at any point? Because I do think Southwest Police Division did a big presentation on Circle, and that is who they want us to start using. So will they be connected, both these?
I will tell you, I work with Keenan Joseph at Urban Alchemy, who's one of the head gentleman Circle program. And one thing we were discussing, that people from the Circle program has actually been putting in LA Hot requests for teams to go out. So it's all connected in the same portal. In our career coordination meetings, Urban Alchemy is a part of the same meetings that everybody else sit at the table. So any concern that we have with the Circle program and things that come up, it will come up in our general meetings that we host every Friday in spot 6 at 1 o'clock. So if any of y'all are welcome to join our meetings if y'all want more information. And we have our community design meetings on Mondays. So yes, there will be some type of interaction between both systems. But right now, like I said, the Circle program is not in spot 6, it's in spot 4 at this time.
And then my last question, the situation we had in our park was with the lady who was without clothes from the waist down. And she was also defecating in the sandbox area where the children play. Tori and I reached out first, and then a week or 2 later, Tori and I both worked through this system to try to get some services for this lady. And what you just mentioned is that you will come out, but you can't force her to do anything. And my question to you is, when does one person's rights outweigh the rights of all the others, especially children who come to the park?
There's that would be a law enforcement situation and the park rangers. Any outreach team does not.
Fabio, just a moment. Yes, we know the park director calls the park rangers. They come out to talk to her. They can issue a fine, but of course that's irrelevant since she doesn't have an address or anything. So there's nothing they can do to remove her. Right, but before you stop me, outreach workers do not remove clients. LA Hub or any portal of any outreach worker circle program, the goal is not to, we don't have the power to remove a client. I mean, they still have rights to certain areas and stuff like that. That's why to be a law enforcement or park ranger. If they're endangering the community or endangering the kids, or they're haunting themselves, then the proper enforcement will be called out. That's why in the presentation she said if it's an endangerment part, they call 911. It's like in that situation, I would call DMH and mental health and see if we can actually put a DMH person out there to talk to them and see if we can put them in DMH services and try to get them into a DMH program. Because like it might be a mental health issue. I think so, but maybe Tori can talk more to that because she did the follow-up with her. Sure. Tori, do you want to talk about that?
Well, it kind of went out, but I was gonna let Octavia finish answering all the questions, and then I'll talk about it afterwards in totality based on all the other questions that are gonna be addressed.
Go ahead.
Donnie Jones?
Here in West Adams Avenue, the concerns we have are not with people who have no place to be. They are with people who have mental health and drug addiction problems. We have a person at the end of 7th Avenue on the other side of the freeway wall most of the time. He comes out, he talks to himself, he goes on people's porches, he has gone and asked questions and go up into people's houses, ask for other people. It's all mental health. Calling 911 only is going so far, but this person is a danger to himself, and I'm worried about our neighbors. So it's not about someone who needs a place to stay. It's about someone who needs mental health. I don't know about the drug part, but he has serious issues, and we cannot wait 24 hours. It's going on. One of the neighbors who's on the call right now had that experience with him. Many of us have. So we're getting to the point where it's just become everyone's passing off to another person. We're getting nothing done. And I realize you probably don't have the answer to this, but that's what we're seeing here. In addition to the woman who was living in the park, now she's living next to a wall. And she cannot make good decisions for herself. Everyone's passing it off. And it's gonna come to bad ending, but that's all I can say. Just wanted to let you know that's 2 people we're dealing with right now.
Yeah, thank you for that input. And so while we're on the call before the meeting's over, I'll see if I can pull up the flyers, the numbers for the psychiatric kind of emergency or psychiatric response teams. And to your point, right, like there is somewhat some overlap when we in terms of people experiencing homelessness getting connected to services and mental health and drug addiction, drug abuse services. And so seeing more of those multidisciplinary teams being utilized is what the city, the county is moving towards, right? That it's not just someone who's going to go out to providers to make offer of service to connect the person to housing service, but also getting people connected to the mental health services as well. And so while I'm on the call, I'm going to go ahead and mute and go off a video and see if I don't have them directly accessible right now, but I'll see if I can find them right now, just the numbers and some flyers for the DMH psychiatric response teams, which would be a resource to make referral, and they will come out typically within 24 hours.
Thank you, Nakia. Donna, did you have any other questions?
Tori, I really don't have questions. I just have a problem, and no one seems to be able to deal with it because mental health problems are not being dealt with here. I don't know about other areas, but there are serious mental health issues, and I can see it becoming, when someone gets seriously injured, that's when we'll hear from someone.
Mm-hmm. And are you saying that Katrina's back? Is that what you're telling me?
Go to 2nd Avenue, behind the park next to the freeway wall. She has left wherever she was because, as they say, you cannot force people to get service. But to me, she doesn't even know what she's thinking from one moment to the next. And then we have another man who's doing the same thing and going on 7th Avenue, up and down the street, going on people's porches, doing all kinds of things. And it's going to come to no good, but I guess it's going to have to wait till it gets there.
Well, are you telling me that Katrina is the same person that the mayor's team came and got is back? And when did you first see her?
Ethan did pictures. I sent it out to you, but Ethan saw her, as I said, along the freeway wall. It's 23rd Street.
No, I said when. I'm trying to get some information. So I can call them.
Yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, we
And I
sent you
actually
an
did
email,
send-
Tori.
I saw her today. She walked down 25th Street. This is Janine. Hi.
Okay,
Thanks,
hi,
Janine.
Janine. Down 25th.
She
Okay,
goes to get food. You know where she's going.
yeah, but they didn't tell me that she, okay, I'm gonna talk to them tomorrow because they had already reported where they had taken her. And that's the funny part about it. So we'll see, because I spent time uh coaxing her to go with them, and she did. But now I don't know what type of treatment and what was actually done for her. So we'll see. I'll have to call them tomorrow and let them know. So in the meantime, Octavio,
Yes, ma'am.
what's the likelihood that you could do a LA hop on her like right now?
I mean, you get anyone in here to do a request on her, and I'm trying to figure out the cost race because you're saying which freeway you're talking about?
Second
The 10,
Avenue,
the
Second
10.
Avenue north of Adams. If you come
Second
north of
Avenue.
Adams, south of the 10 freeway, if you take Second Avenue to the 10 freeway wall, just straight up, it's like 2 blocks. And
So
at
if I'm not
23rd
mistaken, I
Street,
saw Roger Estrada
at
on
23rd
this
Street.
call. I saw
Yeah,
Roger.
Roger's aware of it. Roger's
Roger-
aware. He sent out an email the other day. He's aware of it.
Yeah, Roger and I have meetings every week, and he's very aware of our teams and what we're doing. If I was y'all, I would have Roger actually reach out to me and see if that request is in our area. But I think
Okay.
it is. I'll have a map and have Roger send out a request. And Roger has a team that has just been formed in Constitution 10 that have a therapist online on his team that sit out and tell Roger to send a request to me and Terrell to see if we can get a team out.
Roger has
Okay.
pictures.
I'll-
Roger
yeah.
has pictures of this. He got it the first day
I'm
from
thinking if
Ethan.
it's on one side of the 10 freeway, it might be in spot 4. Because I think that some of this area that
It's
we're talking.
south of the freeway. In
Okay, so-
Council District 10.
It's still 6, Octavio.
Okay,
It's still
so it is
6.
still said. Yeah, so yeah, Roger can send me an email to request. We can get a team out there next week. And for sure, because I see Roger got off the phone call. But Roger sends us all the hotspots in CD10, even without LA Hop. He sends all the hotspots and all the clients that he needs services for and people that he wants us to reach out to. And we will give Roger has the best turnaround time. So I will go back to that as a resource tomorrow.
Okay, and I'll text him again tonight and let him know that you're gonna make contact with him tomorrow, right?
If you send him a request, he'll call me or send me an email
Okay.
immediately. I work with him on a daily basis with his
Okay.
requests to his teams.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Can I ask a quick question? This is my first time on this call. Donna invited me. I'm Janine. I live down the street. Is this a call where you would tell whoever by the way, thank you for that really nice report earlier. But are we meant to tell you like where we're seeing some problems? Because there is a pretty developed tent in the adjacent neighborhood that I saw. Is that what we're doing on this call as well?
Well, let me,
go ahead.
this is Tori, Janine. I
Hi.
am the elected homeless liaison from the neighborhood council and have been, prior to Roger and them coming in from an actual CD10 office. So our parameters for us usually is between Western and Crenshaw and Jefferson and Pico.
Okay.
That's my area right there. So where did you see this particular tent?
Within that space, I don't know if you're familiar with 25th, as you head towards Crenshaw, it kind of dead ends on Bronson and, you're forced to make a left there.
Right.
Right between 13th and Bronson on the north side of the street, there's a fence for the freeway and for, just it's definitely city property right there. And
Right.
I noticed the fence was open and I stuck my face in just to see why and what. And I saw a pretty nice, big tent. There was a stroller, some kids' toys. There seemed like it got me concerned that there might be children in there.
And this is 13th and
If I could
Bronson.
just cut in for a second, that was reported a couple of weeks ago. It was
Okay.
reported to Officer Mejia, it was reported to Caltrans, it was reported to CD10. So many people are aware of that situation, Janine.
Okay,
And-
great.
And Tori, I sent you pictures.
Thank you, Donna.
I
That's
have a
Caltrans-
picture of it too, yeah.
Caltrans owns that area and they know about it. In fact, Teresa has filed a report and we have a number on that. Problem is, nobody does anything. I keep saying that. We're doing our part from West Adams Avenues. We document, we get it out to the correct people, but nobody does it.
And Octavio, if I could just, oh, sorry.
Donna, what I was gonna say is not that nobody does anything. It just, like Octavia had mentioned earlier, it takes time to develop this rapport with them, to get them to be cooperative. I mean, right now, during the pandemic, it was that hands-off thing. And now pretty much it's still at that level as far as the police is concerned. Now, Octavia, as far as the mayor's,
Question of no one does anything. I don't think that we're not out doing things. We have over 50 to 60 outreach workers working every day in Spot 6. We have over, like I said, I have the numbers right here from last week. And I can tell you how many requests we have. It does not, we cannot forcibly renew nobody. And there's no way we can force people to take medication and services. So our teams have to build relationships. I know it's hard to say patience and when it happens, but even if we send a team out, it literally, for mental health cases, it might take 3 or 4 months for them to even get, sometimes people don't even want to give us their names. Or they mentally are just not stable. So I understand the frustration, but it is not that the teams are not going out making an attempt. It is just very hard with mental health cases. Mental health cases and RV cases are the hardest cases for us to deal with in any homeless services.
Octavio, I appreciate your time. I know you work hard, but Janine, who just spoke, had a man dressed in an Amazon jacket that has been going up on people's porches. He has come onto her porch. He comes asking for other people. He has been wandering all around the cul-de-sac at 7th Avenue and 25th. So
Yeah,
this
I
is
hear what you're
not
saying,
going,
but what I'm asking you is that if he's
It's
portrayed
not
as an
gonna
Amazon worker,
end
is that a
well.
crime? That's not
It
an
won't-
outreach. That's not an outreach request. If he's pretending to be an Amazon worker and he's approaching people private property, that's a crime. That's not an outreach request.
yes,
you have
and we have reported it and the police have taken him. They released him in probably 2 hours. He's back.
Yeah,
Right
he
there.
was, I think, Donna, that Anna Maria told me that he was arrested at least one time for trespassing. That's what they are able to, and he, I don't know that he's a violent, he doesn't, she said they have him in the profile for LAPD as sort of non-violent. But he's getting really comfortable. He's using my electric, I have a outlet on the outside of my house and he's using that to charge his phone.
Wow.
And I'm not dealing with it. I'm just like,
Well, my worry is there are young kids on the street and we can't have this. It's not okay. So I've been speaking, we're gonna do a Zoom about this because right now, nothing serious has happened. But tomorrow it could flip because he wanders the streets. He talks to himself constantly and I'm not sure what he's talking about.
yeah,
So
he's
there's
very
my concern.
comfortable. He's very comfortable just walking. I have several pictures of him in people's front yards. He knocked on my front door, asking to come in and charge his phone. And I said no, but anyway, I mean, it's so hard to, whatever. It's so hard to know what to do
Yes.
without sounding like Karen. Get the black eye off my front lawn.
Well,
I
I'm
cannot be
a
that.
black Karen then because I'm very concerned. So I have a black face and I guess I'm gonna be Karen because I'm concerned about the young children who play for out and should be able to be free on their street in a residential area. There's no commercial here. This is what we're dealing. He goes over the freeway while he comes back. The police know about it, but right now we've gotten no help. So that's just basically it.
Okay, so Donna, have you asked Anna Maria Mejia to put in a patrol request?
Have done,
Yeah.
been
She
going
said
on
she's
about a
having
month.
trouble with Caltrans. She's trying to get Caltrans and someone else to just clear the space out so that, you know, he's kind of forced to go elsewhere. I guess. I don't know what the protocol is.
Well, I know somebody that works for Caltrans. I could ask to see what's what. But in the meantime, I would not open that door anymore, Janine.
Oh, you're not kidding.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
If you have a plug outside, there's no reason for him to knock on your door to ask. So he's maybe trying to see if someone's there or not. Just let him not know whether
Yeah.
you're there or not. Do not answer the door anymore.
I
So,
know.
and
I
when
really made a big mistake.
Yeah. So other than that, Octavio,
Janine has cameras better than the Getty. So she has excellent pictures of the man. But
Yeah.
right.
like
Yeah.
I said, nobody's doing anything. I repeat.
Well, Nakia is getting a telephone number. Maybe she has a different PMRT number than I do, maybe. But I'm gonna see if it's the same one, and then we can take it from there. And call tomorrow and let them know where he is and give a description and see what happens.
Okay.
Because you do have to go with the agencies. Like Octavia said, it's not an outreach issue. Once they trespass over onto your property, that becomes a police issue at that point. Now, it's your choice whether you call 911 or the non-emergency number. Now, with the new plan that the mayor does have, the process is to call the non-emergency police line and ask for the circle team in case of a homeless issue. But as far as non-emergent, you can use that same number for your issue as well, because you're saying he's not violent. He's just there being annoyance. So I would call the non-emergency team and let them know to come out, and they will come out.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
And-
because once they come out about 3-4 times, they'll get tired of it and get him themselves. You know what I mean? If you keep calling, every time he comes on your porch, I would call.
Okay.
But it shouldn't have to be that way.
We haven't seen him since Saturday. And Anna Maria had her partner, I forget his name, Tyler Taylor, something like
Tyler
that.
Whiteman.
Yeah, they were patrolling and they were all up and down the 25th on Saturday. And, you know, I honestly have not seen him since the weekend. He rang the doorbell Saturday morning, and that was my husband answered that time. And we haven't seen him since then. My husband's really sweet, but he's very big and like scary looking.
Janine, I think just Nakia and Octavio, just so you know, Anna Maria Mejia is our senior lead officer. And Janine, I believe they did stop by your house because when they left here, they called James, and my husband is on the Community Police Advisory Board. So they tried to talk to him to kind of give him an update on what was going on. So I agree with Tori that if someone is on your property, that certainly you should call 911 or call, text Anna Maria and let her know that he's there and ask her for some advice.
Yeah.
If I could just go back 1 second, Octavio, I just want you to know about the email that Roger sent out. And he says a referral has been made for the young lady at the park who was placed indoors by the circle team and has now come back to the park. The outreach team made contact with her again last Friday, and she denied any help and services. They will continue to engage to be able to assess her and submit a referral to the Department of Mental Health. So I think he's determined that it is a mental health issue.
Okay. Poor thing. So
Maybe,
sad. It's
Yeah,
just
that-
so
that-
sad. She's really, like Donna said, she's really unaware. She seems very lost and unaware of where in the world she is. So it's amazing to me that she can have enough, I guess, I don't know what the word is, to be able to say, I'm fine, thank you. It's amazing.
She
She
doesn't.
seems
Janine, she
completely out
doesn't.
of it. Yeah, doesn't she
You know,
just seems
you know,
completely,
Totally. She talks to herself the whole time and walks up and down the street. She is not a safe person for herself.
I
So, no.
know.
It's just
Yeah.
weird to me that they think she has the ability to make the decision whether she can stay or go because she needs help.
Yeah, she's really, I saw her today.
We can't hear you. I can't hear you, Elise. You sound your volume seems really low.
Mine? I
Yeah.
don't know what park she was in. I feel people said a park in the Jim Gillian Park, Resident San Domingo. What park is this that we're speaking of? What park is she in?
Benny,
It's
she's
Benny
not
Potter-
in the park now, but she was at Benny Potter Park, South Sea Center, 24th at 2nd Avenue. But now she's gone up the street to 23rd and 2nd Avenue. The freeway runs straight through there and she's right there a block from the park. She's not in the park. We had a horrible time getting them to remove her from the park because, as I said, the man was cleaning defecation off the children's play equipment. And it's just funny to me. I know my zip code is 90018. If it was 90210, I wouldn't have the problem.
I think he was across the street again. Yeah. Okay, any more questions? Anybody?
Yeah, Nakia is back. Nakia, do you have any numbers for us?
Yeah, and this is actually, I'm glad that I participated in this conversation because on my personal laptop, I know that I had downloaded a whole bunch of these resources just because we needed them in my community, but I didn't think to have them available on my personal laptop. So I will, after this meeting, just do some more research and get the stuff that I have on my personal laptop and have it available for people who may need it. But what I was able to find in my brief search while we've been on the call is the Access 24-hour hotline. And that number is 800-854-7771.
Oh yeah, that's the same number I gave them. That's the same number I've always used. But what happened, Donna, when you called this number before?
Oh, you're asking Donna?
I'm asking
I think
Donna.
Teresa might want to answer that question.
Yeah, no, I don't. I was on hold 25 minutes. And then the lady said, oh, okay, we'll send out somebody. I said, I'll stay, I'll wait. Oh no, it may be hours. I'm not sure when we're gonna get somebody out. So because at the time, the woman was really in a state of mental duress. She was moaning and very unstable. And then I ended up calling the circle number, and I'm not even sure if this is a circle number. The circle number goes to non-emergency. It was on hold for a half an hour. Then they finally picked up, and I was like, what kind of, I said, I don't know. She's under blankets. I don't even know. I wasn't even sure if it was a woman at the time. I just know she's moaning and groaning and having outbursts with profanities and their children nearby. So they sent over the paramedics. So and then a couple of weeks later, Tori and I both came out, and Tori was able to talk to her a little bit. So I'm not sure how effective these phone numbers are, but I'll put it in the chat in case anybody else wants to use it.
Well,
It
it
would work
works.
if you gave the zip code 90210, I repeat. they would be there in 5 minutes. The police or someone would be there to help her. She would not be camping outside my house if it was in Hancock Park. But that is what is happening on 3rd Avenue and 2nd Avenue and 23rd. That's what's happening. So outside of us going to CPAB at the next meeting, and I will definitely have a group of us there, they're gonna do something about this. It's not okay for the children to watch this.
Janine, question, I don't know if that was Janine, I think that was Janine talking. It could have been done, I'm sorry. You mentioned the CPAP meeting. What division is that in? Is that Southeast or no?
It's the Southwest,
Southwest CPAP? Okay,
and we have talked with our neighborhood prosecutors, both of them, and they want us to come up with a case to deal with it. It's just funny, I have to come up with a case, and if you live in 90210, I don't need to know my SLO. I don't need to know my CPAP, because they're going to take care of it just because of where I live. And you can't go to USC either and do this. Fraternity Row is not looking at any tents on the street. So I'm tired. I know I sound, but I mean, I appreciate you guys because you're doing your best. But the point is, the rules change.
and Donna or Janine, whoever was sharing the information about the CPAP meeting, if you don't have it, I'll put my email in the chat. If you are able to share with me the senior lead officer or whoever is organizing for that, I'd like to join. You send me information on meeting.
It's Donna.
Okay.
Donna, you can do that.
Yeah, actually, it's Sergeant Harwood, Tiffany Harwood.
Okay.
She is the woman who coordinates the CPAP meeting and sends out the agenda. And yes, if you put your email in the chat between me and Donna, one of us will make sure you get that agenda for the next meeting.
Okay, thank you, Teresa.
Freddie.
I just got to the meeting from track practice because I have responsibilities over there too. I just wanted to know, so do I have to keep the guy's junk down at the end of our cul-de-sac? He has a bag of clothes and now he has a garden hose set up thing, a roll of hose.
Freddie, I will tell you who to call. It will not be there.
You're going to give me a number and I'll call somebody and it'll disappear?
Yes, I'm going to send this directly to your house.
Thank you.
Your phone, it's coming now.
Thank you.
I just want to say that was a great presentation. Nakia, very informative. Both you guys did an excellent job providing us with a lot of information. So, and also thank you, Tori, for bringing such excellent people to talk to your committee.
Additionally, I appreciate, Nakia, I love your presentation, and I love the fact that you're giving as much information as you can. We're just frustrated because we have children here and they deserve better, and we pay the same taxes everyone else does. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna.
I'm back. One more thing. Donna, you do point out something very important. We have children in the neighborhood and stuff. But if I don't feel comfortable being in my yard or in my backyard, that's kind of important because I'm not a child, but I'm a taxpayer. And I should be able to be in my yard and not think somebody's going to come up upon me and freak me out.
Preach.
So, and I like to work in my yard. I've got a yard. That's why I have it. So I should be able to be happy in my yard. I don't need to have a dog or a fence. I should be able to be in my yard.
And Nakia and Octavio, just so you know, the gentleman we're talking about has to walk past Freddie's house on his way to Janine's. He's coming across that wall And she's in that cul-de-sac area. So she's also very concerned about this stranger.
Yeah, I normally see him like if he's like changing outfits, he'll take a shirt and put it in the bag and he's got another shirt and then he waits a while, then he goes up and over the fence. So it's like, I'm not comfortable with that.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
neighbor has a 17-year-old daughter coming back and forth from high school, and she doesn't feel safe with her driving, coming home, and the man's walking up and down the street. Of course, the police have been out. Our senior lead officer's done her best. They're back and forth. They've taken him several times, but wherever they take him, they probably ask him his name and then they release it. So that's kind of what's going on. Thank you.
Does anyone have any further questions? If not, Tori, I guess we should continue with your agenda. It's 7:45.
What did Donna say just now? Wherever they take him, what?
The police take him and they definitely pick him up because he has broken into someone's house at 2404.
She's here with
He's been
us.
up on his porch, the man's porch. He's been to Janine's on a regular basis. So they do take him away. They come looking for him. We have pictures, beautiful pictures of him. And he, as I said, we've tried to reach the highway patrol because that's their area. And they have come, but not, they've called once, but they're now following up. The highway patrol, I have yet to find their boss, but I'm hoping CPAB will help me with that too, because they have a pet team. And this man and the other ones next to the place that Janine told you about is next to a senior citizens facility. So that's not a safe place for them to be, especially since Southwest Police Department was burned down. I guess you guys know about that, right?
Yeah, Donna, why don't you give us the details on that?
Well, the lady who was camping out front, the police were kind of allowing it. Then they asked her to leave. She came back after being asked to leave, and she pushed a basket into the lobby of the police department and burned it up. So now they have no place to be. I'm not sure where they are, even changing clothes. That's Southwest Police Department. So they're in a mess because that person wasn't taken away. Because her rights were such, well, she's gone now, I guess.
Yeah, they did find her and they arrested her, so.
Yeah, well, that
So,
was
and so is the police department. It's gone too.
right. It's not funny at all, but that is a crime.
Tori,
I-
it is funny. Tori, it is funny because
I know.
they
I know
knew
your
she
humor.
was. They
What
knew
I'm
she
gonna
wasn't
say is
well.
though, had they called the PMRT team, the police themselves, maybe they would have come to take her away. They would have. I've called them at least 5 times where they've actually taken someone, kept them, depending on the severity, after they assess the situation. One, I know they kept 24 hours. One, they kept over 72 hours. She was gone for over 72 hours. And she came back a whole other person that you could actually communicate with. And then the others were average 48 hours. So they do come out. Whether they come within 5-6 hours is a whole nother story, depending on what time you call. Usually when I call is after 11 o'clock at night or something. So that means they probably won't come until after 8 or 9 the next morning, but they do come out. So I wish the police department would activate some of these calls as well. I mean, they see a lot. I mean, they see more than the average person. They should start using this number sometime themselves. But they should not be the first responders, and I still don't agree with that, unless it is a high intensity criminal activity or violence or something of that sort.
Or somebody with matches.
What'd you say, Donna? Or someone with what?
Matches?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, amazing. So.
They're lucky nobody burn up in that place.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't either. But Octavio, could you give us the is this the same 1 o'clock meeting that Hopkins always had over the years?
The 1 o'clock meeting on Friday is the outreach meeting or care coordination. It's on the first Friday. We talk about individual clients and individual cases that the case managers work on. Those meetings are only joined by people with HMIS access. And then the general outreach meetings are every Friday at 1 o'clock. And they're for an hour. That's for outreach, for like outreach results, things that outreach one in the area. On Mondays at 1:30, Erica Matalia will be doing every other Monday. I think the second or fourth Monday, she do our community design team meetings where everybody from the community who has an issue or want to be part of the homeless community and different solutions and what's going on and homeless services in Spot 6 is every Monday from 1 to 3, from the second Monday of the month and the fourth Monday of every month. That will be hosted by Erica Battaglia at Hopkins.
Okay, so the 1:30 meeting is Erica also?
Erica's on Monday and my meeting is on Friday. My meeting is outreach specific engagements.
Yours?
Outreach is on Fridays at 1 o'clock. The first Friday is care coordination. The second, third, and Friday are general meetings. They go on 1. I try to get about 2 to 2:30. We're all the outreach team, all the requests we talk about, and any outreach safety concerns, issues going on the spot, outreach talks about.
Okay, so I have HMIS access. So
You
if
can
I
actually be
wanna
on a care
come-
coordination. You'll be at a care
Okay.
coordination meeting, which will be, we have the green team, which is your area, and that meeting is the first Monday of every month, and it will be at 1 o'clock
First Monday,
of every month.
first Monday, every month at 1 o'clock. And that's at the 57 address, 5715?
All our meetings are Zoom now after the COVID. So my email was put in the presentation. You can send me an email, and I can send you over the link.
Okay, and your email was Johnson.
At hopkins.org.
Okay. .org. Okay, I'll send you that this evening. That way I can at least participate periodically and see what's what. But it's interesting that you said that the circle team was only in SPA 4 as a test, right?
Yeah, they're piloting in Spot 4.
Yeah, well, they actually
came over to Spot 6 yet.
right. Well, they actually came out for me for the lady in the park, but that just was for that particular instance, I guess, because they did not denote that to me at all, that it was only in Spot 4.
Yeah,
So
I'll call Keenan Joseph and get an answer for you.
I know, I can call Keenan. I've been working with Keenan for years. Yeah, I'll talk to Keenan, but maybe that was a special circumstance or something, but they did it. And so we just have to make that clear, because that's the instruction that I've been given to, so we can follow the process to see and keep track of how it works. How many minutes you stay on the phone.
That's what she's funding and sponsoring as a circle program. So if you're working in conjunction with the mayor's office, that is definitely what the new thing is right now, the circle program. Just before I end this meeting, I just want to give you the LA HOP numbers I have for up to the year. I did pull them up. This was over 9 from 4/7/2023 to 4/13/2023. Last week we had 32 new LA HOP requests. For the year, we had 1,014. We had already closed. Last week we closed 31 requests. Total closed for the year was 964, and we have 50 open right now with all assigned to a team. So that was last week's requests. of the current time of how many LA hots we have received in spot 6.
Wow, so 50 is your number, you have 50 teams right now, right?
No, I have over 47 teams right now. That 50 number is how many requests that came in like recently that the teams haven't closed yet. So I get to actually see how many teams they have. But when I say they all been assigned to a team, that means that, that as a coordinator, I've already sat down and assigned a team, that team is working. So I'm waiting for that team to close out the request. Either they can, contact with them, or they made contact, or they're already working with them. So those 50 are in the process of being worked on from last week. I'm going to go actually at this meeting. I'll go to the numbers and see where we are this week. But that was last week's numbers. Because I do it from Thursday to Thursday.
Oh, Thursday to Thursday, okay, that's what I wanted to
Because
know.
anything on the weekends, we have 2 weekend teams in spot 6. So anything Friday, Saturday, Sunday will be assigned to a weekend team.
Oh, really? So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, at what hours?
The weekend team works from the morning, 8 to 4 or 5. I think Lhasa has one and Hopkins has one.
One team each, they cover the weekend.
Yeah, we have 2 weekend teams that work in spot 6.
Okay. One Lhasa, one Hopkins. And, okay, so that's 2 total that's working. Okay, and they both 8 to 4?
Yes.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so what number would we call for the weekends? Who would we call?
LA Hots is the best way to reach them. An email, or say a request. We don't have no personal numbers to give out. Usually, like I said, after the night, I will close all LA Hots. Anything I get requests from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I will send it to the weekend team for them to go out and do immediate services.
That sounds good, okay.
Well, and in a 2-day span, because obviously if all our teams are already off for the weekend, most of the teams that are working, the weekend team usually, that's why we start Friday, Saturday, Sunday, for they can prepare how many requests they get on the weekend.
Right. Okay, so you do have a system in place that keeps the data. That's good to know. That's really good to know. So, any other questions? Any round robin discussion anybody wants to do? We can, of current issues that we have not discussed thus far that's important for any solution oriented. Nakia?
No, Tori, I don't have anything else.
Okay, so there's no current issues you guys are working with on the job that, like that was a current issue talking about SPA 4. I mean, that's something that we need to know. I mean, but I will clarify that, but in the meantime, we're thinking that it's already a goal for the whole city for, of the area that she covers. Octavio?
I'm not going to clarification with Kenny with that tomorrow, but that's pretty much your issue. I hope I answer all your questions to the best of my ability, and I think that should do it for me. Unless anybody have any more additional questions.
You have any more questions, Rob? Okay, well, I really enjoyed that presentation on the road. I was watching it as I was riding from the airport, but it was really good presentation. Is it possible for us to look at that and dissect it again so I can give clear instructions when someone wants to actually call on their own? Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you, Octavio. How many people actually self-report?
Quite a few. I got to really break down the data. I have, but when the on the request, when I look at it, it would say contact or who with the report, and it's like to say self-services or say agency with the contact numbers at for us to reach back out. But there are quite a few people that self-report. Ultimately, the team will go out there and assess their services or their homelessness. I found a lot of people that self-report or looking at better for the opportunity. I think the cases y'all been talking about is extreme mental health. So we really get the public report there. But some of the cases of self-reporting are from more functional homeless people.
High functioning. So where do they get the information? Is it advertised somewhere?
You have people that go on the street, people go to county meetings, people tell people about what's going on. We have business cards that go out and somebody can just self-report themselves. A lot of self-reporting is I live at my mom's house. I'm about to be homeless. I'm in a shelter. I need an apartment because I get a description of everything they're saying. So you'll get a lot of them that are already in the system, but they just want to look for a better opportunity. But we do get quite a few self-reported on a weekly basis.
That's wonderful. I think that's really good. So if we have somebody in the interim housing or somewhere, they can
They don't
self-report.
qualify for LA HOP. So they're in the interim housing
Okay.
and they're already in
That's
process. So the response will be back in a corporate request. The person's already in the interim housing, and that's what the response will be back. That would be the response back to you, the person sent the request, or the team will go out and say, well, they already been housed, they're already in the process, they're already in the pipeline. We don't have to go back out to this location. So that will happen in those type of situations.
Okay, good. That's what I wanted to make sure. Oh, okay. Wonderful. Freddie or Donna, you have any more questions?
No, just thank you for coming. We appreciate it. But you know exactly what we're talking about. As I said, we only have people with mental health problems. And when they actually get to the point where they're doing care court, we'll have help. Right now, we have none. And or unless I give the zip code 90210.
Well, care court is supposed to come full-fledged next year, from what I understand. So we'll be on it and have them come and talk to us and see how we can be of assistance. Thank you, Nakia and Octavio, for having a long day today. I'm sure you worked all day and you came and shared with us today. We really appreciate it. And Octavio, I am gonna come to one of those meetings on first Monday.
First Monday is first Monday is first Friday. Second and fourth are Erica meetings, community design meetings. Outreach meetings are every Friday. Care coordination meetings are the first Friday of every month.
First Friday, all on Zoom that you're gonna send me. So it's the same Zoom link for all the meetings.
I will send you different Zoom links for the meeting.
Okay, perfect.
If you send me an email, I'll respond back with the different links for the meeting.
Okay, I'm gonna do that as soon as we disconnect.
All right.
Okay, look forward. I appreciate you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
I like the interview tag team process. That was
Thank you.
wonderful. Uh-huh.
Thank
I'll talk to you sometime this week.
Thanks. Talk to you all soon.
Well,
No.
no, but our next meeting will be May. That's okay. But did you those numbers that's in the chat?
I'm not quite sure how to save the chat here. I mean, because this is.
Well, we don't need to save it as long as we get it documented. So read it to me.
Let me come, let me stop here. Let's see. Oh, Roger, Donna mentioned, she said we should have let Roger speak before we started.
We should have.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought
told-
about it.
Yeah, I saw his tourist meeting, so.
Right, right.
Oh, actually.